Welcome to Leadership Speak, an advanced Toastmasters club for leadership development. We are one of the top 5 clubs globally. I am Claudette Thomas, your Sergeant at Arms for this meeting. Our club mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience where members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Leadership Speak is one of the premier clubs for experienced Toastmasters to become self-directed leaders. We are an advanced club focused primarily on leadership development in everything we do. Our timer has her virtual hand raised, so you can immediately see who is keeping the time. Our Toastmaster leading the meeting today is Mohmad Asif Saiyed. Asif is a governance and risk management professional. For 28 years, he has been helping various large organizations achieve their mission and vision by implementing effective and efficient risk management processes. He wants to leverage his corporate experience to benefit Leadership Speak and the general Toastmasters community. He believes that to survive and thrive in a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous environment, Toastmasters clubs require holistic vision, leadership agility, efficient operations, and enhanced communication and teamwork. Please help me welcome our Toastmaster for the day, Mohmad Asif Saiyed. Put your hands together to welcome him. Thank you very much. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very, very much, Toastmaster Claudette, for the introduction. Dear fellow leaders, members, guests, wishing you a very, very happy new year 2024. But what does a new year mean? Success, progress, prosperity, that all depends upon you, what you're going to chart on your plan. You see, because without planning, there are more chances to fail. At least with planning, you will definitely have more probability to succeed in the things which you have planned or dreamt about. Now, this is a typical language of a risk management professional. We talk a lot about objective, probabilities, what are the risks that can happen when you pursue your objectives, and then what kind of controls you can implement. And planning, for sure, is one of the most important critical tools for getting success. So now when I talk about success, what does success mean? I believe that, many a times this word success is abused, overused, ambiguous. It simply means success means that, whatever things you want to desire, the result which you are seeking for, and in your thought process, what are the steps required to achieve? You go and implement those steps, and the result comes the same as what you wanted. That is success. So if in your success, it's all about earning a lot of money, maybe $1 million, maybe $1 billion, or it's about, good health, or it's overcoming stage fright and, talking to so many number of people, getting your confidence, whatever be it. That success is all yours once you start planning. That is the first step. Well, in our today's meeting, we are going to speak, talk, and think about how can each of you or us, and as a club, and as the community, Toastmasters community, we can strive for success in this new year, 2024. Leadership Speak is a premium club all about leadership, and every week we dwell upon leadership challenges. And in today's meeting, when we want to talk about leadership success, then I have a lot of a big team over here today in our meeting who's going to help us talk on this particular subject. So how is our meeting going to progress? First, I'm going to invite now our role player, Toastmaster Paramjit, to raise the toast for success. Dear Zoom Master, kindly spotlight Paramjit. Toastmaster Paramjit, success.
Good evening, self-directed leaders and distinguished guests. It is truly an honor for me to stand before you to gather us, celebrate success and growth within our Toastmaster family. Success, they say, is not a destination, it is a journey. And we embark on a Toastmaster journey, a remarkable journey of self-improvement and personal growth. We all are part of this transformative voyage where the plan gives us the way for our individual as well as collective accomplishments. In our Toastmaster journey, the success plan comprises various elements, from honing our communication and leadership skills and skills like critical thinking, engagements, mentorship with a mentor group, and giving a supportive feedback and fostering a wonderful community. And that's the plan which encourages you to come out of your comfort zone, take it head on, and emerge as a better, confident, and a stronger individual. One of the other remarkable aspect of the success plan is its adaptability. It recognizes that every individual Toastmaster has a distinct plan and his individual aspirations and accomplishments. So the success plan is not a rigid rut of rules, but a flexible platform where everyone is adaptable and according to his distinct way. This success plan gives us and asks us and forces us to achieve our dreams, take risks, and embrace all the challenges, whatever come our way. So, my dear friends, I will request everyone to unmute yourself, raise your glasses, and let us toast to the success, a roadmap to our aspirations. Success plan, a roadmap to our aspirations.
Success plan.
Plan for success. Aspiration.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Paramjit, for the toast. And now I invite a very important critical role player, Toastmaster Hana, to inform us about the timing rules.
Certainly, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. Hannah, I will be your timer, and I shall be timing you according to the times on the agenda. And at the end of each section, I shall post the times into the chat box. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Hannah. Now I invite my next role player is Toastmaster John. John is going to help us with the word of the day. Over to you, John.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is John Ojefo, and I will be your grammarian for this meeting. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any inappropriate language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, and thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is cogent. As you can see there, cogent. It's an adjective, which means of an argument, case, or speech, or play. It means clear, logical, and convincing. Examples of using the word are, it is, the leaders put forward a cogent and doable success plan for 2024. It is a cogent, a second usage is it is a cogent New Year resolution. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will give the grammarian's report when called upon during the meeting, and also report on the usage of the word of the day. Back to you. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, John. Now is the most exciting part of our meeting, and that is educational speech. Whenever we want to talk about leadership, as we leaders, we definitely want to dwell upon all leadership issues. And who better can today tell us about how do we achieve success? I want to invite a very, very important person and a friend, philosopher, who is not only the founding member of our club, but is the person who is the engine, who is the driver, who has been delivering a lot of success to make this club a big, premier, and advanced club. His mega projects are always something to be looked upon, something we want to see to achieve. He is a very, very experienced Toastmaster who is also famous for his, who has coined the word self-directed leaders. Well, I invite DTM Brahm who is going to be presenting today, the VP, he is also the VP Education of our club. Now, so I invite now his evaluator for this project, Toastmaster Leah Musunga, who is going to tell us about the project objectives. Can you please, Zoom Master, can you please highlight Leah?
Good day, everyone. The speech objective of Brahm's speech today is for the member to apply the skills needed to successfully lead in a volunteer or other organization, and for the member to share some aspects of his experience as a leader and or the impact of the 360 evaluation. So I'm sure he's going to give us a cogent speech on how to lead in a volunteer organization. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Well, thank you very much, Toastmaster Leah, for the project introduction. Well, the speech title for which Brahm is going to make the speech is Leadership Speak Construct. Toastmaster Brahm, Leadership Speak Construct. Over to you.
Whoa, I'm excited. I'm very excited this New Year's. Happy New Year, everyone. Do you know why I'm excited? Well, I'm excited because, Leah, do you know that we were the top club, one of the top clubs globally in 2023? Yeah? Leah?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Awesome. So, me and you, Leah, we're going to have a conversation throughout this presentation, all right?
Amazing.
Now, I look forward to this, Leah. Now, we were one of the top 5 clubs globally in 2023. So now what does it all mean this year? And what have we done in the past 6 months? Where are we today? And we are looking forward to the next 6 months. So ladies and gentlemen, hold tight, fasten your seatbelts, because we're going to take off, not to Mars, not to the moon, but to the stars. These are the education awards earned in the past 6 months. 60 awards by 25 members. Here are all these people that have been very active and engaged in the club. Congratulations to all these people. You can see the names very quickly. I will be asking you what was the 14th name on this list later on, so you'd better read this list, okay? Hannah, are you reading this list? 60 education awards. Isn't that incredible? All right, okay. Not only that, 7 Triple Crowns were completed. 7 in the first 6 months. People are thinking of Triple Crown for the whole year. 7 people have completed that in 6 months. And now, who are these wonderful, amazing people that done Triple Crowns for the past 6 months? Well, here they are. Aswati Rajan was one of them. Hannah, Hannah, you are on the list. Whoa, Hannah, can we see that smile of yours? Yay, awesome. And of course, we had Jyoti Thomas, who did actually 8 levels. Oh my goodness, she doesn't sleep. She's going out 2 o'clock at another club and speaking. Oh my goodness. And then there's Ntati Mokanso, 5 levels. Paramjit Singh has done 3. And our funny lady who always smiles, Sandra Box, 3 levels. Amazing. 7 Triple Crowns completed. That is a record, I'm telling you. All right. So that's the education award. So what? Let's have a look. Let's look at the dashboard and what's happening on the dashboard currently. Now, for those of you who are brand new Toastmasters, who are as a guest here, or even if you have never looked at what the dashboard is, this is a statistics available for every club globally on Toastmasters International, and it's available for public to view. And that's what we call the dashboard. And on the dashboard, currently, as at December the 31st, this is where Leadership Speak stands, and I will explain to you what that means in a second. This is last year, 6 months. So 2022 December, 2023 December. So we are comparing 6 months to 6 months, all right? And what we did. So let's have a look. You can see that on the dashboard, here are all the education awards, and then the number of members that have joined, club officers trained, and of course our administration that we've done that gives us a point as well. So all this ticks means we have a point. We have 10 out of 10 already. Actually, we received 10 out of 10 points by November the 30th. Very few clubs do that. Actually, we are still the only club in the whole district that have got 10 points. We did the same thing last year. In 6 months, we had 10 points and we covered everything that was required for us to cover. Let me go into a bit more explanation, ladies and gentlemen. Fasten your seatbelts, get your excitement up, because this is going to be very exciting. Here's what's happening. 7 officers were trained, which means the officers that you voted in are committed to their growth and to the club's growth. They went for that training and they are bringing back information and they're training to make sure that the club thrives, and they are doing that. So 7 officers were trained last year. Same thing happened. 7 officers were trained. By November, we had done that both the trainings. There are 2 trainings by the district, and we have to attend them both if you had to gain any points, and all 7 officers got trained. A number of clubs in the district, quite a lot of clubs actually didn't even send 7 officers, So this club is doing something right. What happened then? Let's look at membership. Attrition. Attrition means how many members left at October, right? So 8 members left during the renewals at the end of September, and October the 1st, 8 had left. It's always the case. Now let's look at what the percentage is, though. We added 10 members, however, during the same period. And the base means what we started at. last year on July the 1st. On July the 1st, we had 50 members, 8 left, 10 added. Base was 50. That means at the end of December 2023, we have 52 members, and you can see that right here on the statistics, right? Minimum, of course, any club should have is 20 members. That's what it's saying. So are we doing great? We are doing great. But you say 8 members left? Well, 8 out of 50 is a very low number. Matt Kinsey, the past international president, when he came I speak to him often, and he's come to my podcast, he says that about 30 to 40% of attrition is normal. 30 to 40. 8 out of 50 is very low. It's like 12.5%, I believe. Those who have a calculator, go ahead and calculate and let me know in the chat. Last year, however, 15 people out of 29 people, more than 50% left. Not hardly a year into being into existence. 15 people left, but we added 16 people. The base was 29, so we ended up December 23 in the first 6 months at 30. It shows right here. Now, can you see? Do you see what's happening between last year's the 6 months and this year's 6 months? What we are doing, all right? Is the picture getting clearer as to what's happening this year in the first 6 months? Are you holding on? Fasten your seatbelts, because we are going to go where no club has gone before. Do you get it, Leah? What do you think? You are the
I'm
division
all
director. What do you
ready.
think?
I'm all fastened and ready.
Wow, all right. Okay. So our education goals, right? There you go. 60 by 25 members. Now, if you count and add this, these are only 50. Why do I say 60? Well, if somebody does more than 5 levels, they don't show on the dashboard, but they do show on the daily report. And they do show on the global rating. So on the global rating, we've done 60 goals by 25 members, which means about 2.4 on average, 2.4 levels per member out of the 25. Last year, for 6 months, 29 goals by 9 members, which is about 3.6 actually average, which means there were a few gung-ho members doing a lot of levels at the time. But here we are spread out much, much better. 25 members doing 60 goals. So we had 60. That is great. That's awesome. Now let's look at why I'm telling you to fasten your seatbelts. We're going to take off for the next 6 months. Are you ready? John, are you ready? I'm a cogent enough, John. Is it making clear sense there? John, speak to me.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome, wonderful. Okay, so now on the dashboard as well, there's another statistics that they create. We were, as you can see, we have 50 on the dashboard. If you count, it's 50 awards. So that's what it says right over here, 50 awards. And our July base, the number of members that we had is 50, right? We started with 50 members. So what they do is they say, we started with 50 members, you have 50 awards. So what is the ratio? The ratio is 1. 50 to 50 is 1. So we are still on that ratio as well, that how Toastmasters International measures, we are at the top of the district. The second club did 12 awards, 12 education awards, they had 13 members. That's it. But in that ratio, they were 0.923, so they are pretty high as compared to the ratio of members to awards earned. So there's different ways of measuring. Every way you measure, we're still at the top of the district. But not only the district, I'm now going to tell you something amazing and incredible what is happening. Ladies and gentlemen, do fasten your seatbelts because we are going to take off. And here's what I mean. Are you ready? Okay. So, Mr. Zoom Master or somebody, if you can allow screen sharing, that'll be great. Because I see that the screen sharing is disabled. Please switch on the screen sharing or give me co-host rights. Move quickly. Let's go.
Done, sir. Done.
You done?
Yes, yes, done.
All right, good. So now let's try this again, right? I'm excited this way. I'm very excited. Are you excited, Paramjit?
100%. I think that's why I missed. I should have done it in the beginning of the meeting.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to take off. And this is what I mean by taking off. This is the ranking last year, June the 30th. This is how all the clubs globally, every 14,700 clubs, this is the ranking. And the number one club was America's Best. They did 176 awards. Number two, Ridgeland. Number three, Sonora, right? And so on. Canada Post Innovators was number 4. And number 5 was Leadership Speak with 116 awards. That was last year. We all know. Number 5, 116 awards in its first year, full year of existence. By the way, if you are a guest, be excited that you are in a place where we are one of the top clubs globally. But here's the good news now. This is why I'm really excited. Hold on. Let me tell you why. Hold on. Have a look at this chart, all right? Very carefully. Absorb it, because I'm going to ask you, Hannah, I'm going to ask you who was number 9 after the meeting, okay? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's look at this. This year, currently, at the end of December, America's Best only has 25 awards. Ridgeland only has 6 awards. Sonora has 25 awards. Canada Post, 0. They had 120. Right now, they're at 0 in 6 months. Al Safa, 28 awards only out of 120. Qatar, 0. Gabby's, well, Bindu Joseph, our member here, is also a member in Gabby's, and they actually are following us very closely. They're actually watching what we are doing, and they are competing with us. They have 55 awards currently. Last year, they ended up with 106. So they already want to be one of the top clubs globally. No, they were at 92 last year. Edmund, only 2. And they were at number 8, right? UAGC Orators Toastmasters Club, 0. Right here, I'll switch off myself and have a look. The Art of Speaking, right? They had 80 awards last year for the whole year. For the first 6 months, only 5 awards. Are you getting excited? Guess what? Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Where do you think we are standing right now, currently, globally? If there was a global ranking chart available, which is not available this current year because George Marshall, who does these charts, is not well and he hasn't been able to do that. Currently, ladies and gentlemen, therefore, we are, hold on tight. Hold on tight. We are the number 1 club globally. I present to you the number 1 club globally, Leadership Speak. Are you happy? Woo! You are in the number 1 club globally.
Yes.
Cogently happy.
Cogently happy? Awesome.
Very happy.
Okay. So you have tightened your seatbelts for the next 6 months then. Here we go. I will be asking you what you're going to be doing next 6 months. I put you already in mentor groups. You're all in mentor groups. You're warming up. You're asking each other, hey, you know, you're getting to know each other. You're connecting. You're building a community, which is the first thing in any group. When you're put in a group, is to connect and create a community. And then you will, of course, begin to mentor each other, because the mentor group about becoming better self-directed leaders. I will be speaking about that in 2 weeks' time. I'll be back here in the education session in 2 weeks' time speaking about the mentor groups. But currently, June 2023, we have 116 awards by 34 members. And June 2024, in the next 6 months in total, we don't know. That's why we are going to be tightening our seatbelts and ready for takeoff on the rocket to Mars and beyond. Now, I don't believe in numbers. I hate if you're only doing numbers. If you go to a lot of clubs, you know, they're just doing numbers, but if you look at their quality, the quality of their meetings is very low. I believe that if there is qualitative and quantitative at the same time, the two together, then you are successful. That's the only time you're successful. That's the only time when you can celebrate that we've done so many awards because the quality was there throughout. So here's a question for you members, and I'll ask Paramjit to put on a poll. What is our excellence level? Paramjit? Okay, so here it is. Is our excellence level at 0, at 1, at 2, at 3, 4, 5, or is way above? You don't even know, it's like through the roofs. What's our excellence level? I'd like you to vote for that. I'll give you a minute. What do you think? How do we operate in this club? Now you are members of other clubs. You've seen other clubs operate. You've been to other clubs as a guest, and you are leadership speak. Where is our excellence level? Okay, so Paramjit, are you getting the votes? Because of course, I'm not a host, so I don't see anything.
Six people still need to vote.
Please keep voting.
Maybe they guessed.
Of course, if you're a guest, you may not know unless you've visited us before. Then you know about the quality of a meeting. Because we have guests that keep coming over and over and over. They've been coming for the past year, and they still keep coming every morning here Saturday. Why? I think it may be because it might have something to do with excellence.
So should I share? May I share? No,
Please share the result. Thank you very much. I'm really wanting to know what that result is because I don't know myself what that is. Oh my goodness. Some say at 4, 5, and way above is 29%. There you go. Our excellence level is way above anything that anyone has ever seen is 29%, and at number 4 is 29%. Oh, well, tie. So let's say in between is 5. So our excellence level is much, much higher than any other club. People who have been members in other clubs, some of our past members who are members in like globally in different clubs, in very prominent clubs, they tell me that leadership speak is the highest quality level ever. Okay, and you can judge by visiting other prominent clubs. Even go to America's Best, go to Gabby's, and you will find out. So, you know, we have met the distinguished club points of 10, of course, by November. But distinguished club points is very different from club success plan. And we are going to work on the club success plan, which means engagement by all the members, which means that each and every member who are currently members will at least, I'm just making a suggestion, on average do 3 levels, maybe 1 level for some of you. But a lot of members will, of course, will be doing many, many more levels to keep on being at number 1 globally for the next 6 months. Because those clubs that you saw had hardly started, they start in this 6 months, and you will see that they will go way past. And in the last 3 weeks, they will do like 50, 70, 80 speeches and so on and do that. Now, I don't believe in qualitative, I believe in quality. But last year, as you know, we held compression meetings. Right towards the end of the year, somebody said, I want to be one of the top 5 clubs. We were at about 8 or 9 or something. And so because of a member's request, we held compression meetings where a lot of members did extra speeches, quality speeches. They were all quality, high level of evaluations were done. And we went on to become number 5. This year, we will be doing a compression meetings, but we don't wait till the last minute. If you think you want to be the top number 1 club, we'll get into action starting today. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year. Are you all excited? John, are you excited? Hannah, Leah, what do you think? Mr.
Sounds
President?
like amazing stuff.
Mr.
Yes,
President, I
we
present
shall.
to you #1 club globally. Over to you.
Yes,
Thank you.
we will, definitely.
Awesome. Perfect.
Hip hip hooray. Well, Toastmaster Brahm, a cogent speech, making complex things very simple. What numbers do we want to see for success in a Toastmasters arena? Well, we move on to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Ray Rivero. And the evaluator for Ray Rivero's speech is Toastmaster Mohmad.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, and welcome, Toastmasters and guests. Yes, I'll be the evaluator of Ray's speech, and he's on engaging your audience with humor path, and the project is about delivering his speech on a point of view and what makes things funny, including at least one anecdote or story intended to entertain or bring humor into the presentation. So we're starting this year right with our first speaker, Ray, who will speak for 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you, Mr. Evaluator. Sorry, Mr. Toastmaster. So excited.
It happens. It happens. Okay, can we highlight Toastmaster Ray Rivero? Toastmaster Ray Rivero. Toastmaster Ray Rivero's, concern about today is that, in leadership speak, many of the Toastmaster members don't have English as a first language. And sometimes, listeners hear an expression that sounds very, very confusing. Where did that come from? And a few weeks ago, then Toastmaster Ray Rivero did a kind of, review or research, and that's what he's going to definitely talk today about in a humorous way. Toastmaster Ray Rivero, Verbal Judo, Ray Rivero.
Has this happened to you? You're having a conversation, and then you hear an expression you're not familiar with. Huh? What? The conversation froze. Fellow Leadership Speak members and guests, you've just been verbally judoed. As in, you don't know what that person just said. There are a lot of informal expressions that are part of our conversation, and yet not all of us understand what they mean. A few weeks ago, I sent a request through our WhatsApp channels asking some members some of these sayings that they're not familiar with. So today, I'm going to present a few things from my side of the world that I will share with all of you today. American sports is full of all these confusing, confounding expressions. Gotta be a bit cogent. For example, it ain't over until the fat lady sings. For those of you in opera, the diva usually sings the last song toward the end of the performance. And all that this expression means is don't count on your team winning until the game is over. Let me give you an example. For those of you that follow cricket, a couple of months ago, there was a world championship in India. India was undefeated. They made it to the finals. It looked like a slam dunk, as the expression says in America for slamming the ball in the hoop. Except I'm hearing something very faint, growing louder. and it has an Australian accent. Australia beat India in the cricket fight. It ain't over until the Australian fat lady sang. There's a similar expression from American baseball called "it ain't over till it's over." And if you really want to get verbally judoed, Google "who's on first." It's a famous routine where one of the comedians uses pronouns to identify names of players, and the other is totally frustrated on how to identify. Or you can take a baseball fan, tell him to go to a cricket field and find first base. There are other expressions as well, such as if you want to encourage somebody to step out of their comfort zone and just take a chance, or you're malicious enough to push them out, we have a saying called "butter somebody up." It means just giving them encouragement, flattering, getting them to do what you have to get them to do. There is also another expression that we wish on our speakers when they go to the World Championships, or even any actor on the stage. It's called "break a leg." Now, that's a verbal judo statement. You want to wish somebody good luck, but you can't say good luck to an actor because that's bad luck. So you have to say something bad like "break a leg." But isn't breaking a leg bad luck when you mean to say good luck, but you can't say good luck? Ah, that is so verbally judo. And then you can be busy as a beaver. Those hardworking animals work hard to dam up the rivers and build their dens. It just means being hardworking and industrious. Another equivalent expression is busy as a bee. And just to be on the humorous side, I did Google for the expression "busy as a Brahm." All I got was just a list of Global Leadership Information Summit and Leadership Speak information. I think I might have verbally judoed Google. And then you talk about craziness with your teenagers. They have their language of their own. For example, they'll just say, "That's so dope." For an adult, isn't dope bad? That's harmful. For a teenager, that means that's cool. That's okay. So I translated that for you. You're welcome. So what do you think, everyone? Unmute yourselves or put an emoji that says, did you enjoy these expressions that verbally judo you, and now you won't be so judoed by these expressions? Do you like this? Well, because I hope this was so dope to all of you. So remember, when you hear or witness expressions and it just confuses people, just remember, you don't have to be busy as a beaver to interpret. It's not over until it's over, and especially not until the fat lady sings. You can educate others by buttering them up. And finally, whenever you hear a new expression, you can just remember to do the best you can to make sure you're not verbally judo. You're good with that. Eh? Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very, very much, Toastmaster Ray Rivero. Now, our next speaker is going to be Toastmaster DTM Tony. Toastmaster Tony's project is going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Claudette. Oh. Toastmaster Barbara. Sorry about the goof up.
Yes. Good morning and Happy New Year to everyone, all Toastmasters. especially to Tony Bratschitsch. Now, Tony is going to be doing a speech on beginnings. He's going to be doing it from Dynamic Leadership Speak 3 of 11. He's going to be inspiring your audience. He's going to present a speech on a topic with the intent of inspiring his audience, and this will be a speech for 5 to 7 minutes. Back over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
The master, could you please highlight, spotlight Toastmaster Tony? Yeah, here the gentleman, he is Toastmaster Tony, past district governor. He is a parliamentarian for our club, our well-wisher, guide, coach, business consultant. Toastmaster Tony's speech today is The Beginning. The Beginning is all based on a poem which he read in grade 5, but didn't understand for many, many years. And today he's going to definitely let us know what is the beginning is all about. Toastmaster Tony.
Oh, thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day, and fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. Yes, this is the first meeting of the new year, and you might say it's a new beginning for all of us. And it's an opportunity for us to look back at the last year, to reflect upon things that have happened, and to plan for successes for the new year. And in my case, I've done that. I've looked back at the last year and I've seen, oh, I got my law degree, I lost 25 pounds, and also I'm starting a new year. I've already gone to the gym, I got a personal trainer, both my muscles are very sore, and I've entered an MBA program. But I'm going to share a story about you about other beginnings, new beginnings. And one particular story was a very famous story that affected millions of Canadians and Americans about 100 years ago. And it was very impactful upon society. And let's see how we can share that story for our new beginnings. This story is a poem written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow in 1847. And it became a very important story. And this story, the poem is about a young French-Canadian woman named Evangeline. And the story takes place in the 1760s in the eastern part of Canada, what is now known as Nova Scotia. And back then it was a French colony and it was taken over by the English government. And the English decided to remove all the young French-Canadian men and they sent them away. Now, one of them was Evangeline's fiance, Gabrielle. And of course, they were deeply in love. So Gabrielle was sent away with the other young French-Canadian men, but she was determined to find Gabrielle, but she had to take care of her father. And as soon as she could, she left to find Gabrielle. And Evangeline traveled down the Mississippi River, 3,700 kilometers, which is about 2,600 miles. And she went to look for Gabrielle. And she made her way down, all the way down south of this long river to New Orleans, which is in Louisiana. And yes, they said, Gabrielle was here, but he left. He went to Missouri. Well, now was another new beginning for Evangeline. And she went to Missouri. And when she got there, she found people who said, oh, yes, Gabrielle, he was here, but he just left. And we don't know where he went. Well, Evangeline did not give up. But she had a life to lead. And along the twists and turns in her life, she did many things. She had many beginnings. And one of them was she became a teacher. She taught children for many, many years. And as she got older, then she became a nurse. And she took care of people. And it was later in life, of course, she's working as a nurse in a hospital in Philadelphia during a plague. And then she found Gabrielle. He's in his sickbed. They reunited. They embraced. They rejoiced. And then he died. Gabrielle then looked up, put her hands up, and she said, thank you, Lord, for I have lived. What? That's what I asked my teacher in grade 5, because I had to read this poem. Why would she celebrate? Why would Evangeline celebrate when he died? I don't get it. Well, my teacher, he looked at me and said, with a smile, you have to find out just like the others. Who were the others? The others were students in the schools in northeastern United States and Canada in the 1930s that had to read the same poem, Evangeline. And during that time was a Great Depression, devastating depression. And there was, on top of that, a drought. Jobs were hard to find. Food was not plentiful. Times were tough. And the schools made the students study Evangeline in the 1930s, about 90 years after it was written. Why? Why? I kept on asking. Hollywood made a movie on Evangeline. And it was popular, but it was a budget movie. So Hollywood decided to make even a better movie on Evangeline with the first-class stars and top budgets. And then down in New Orleans, not far away, there's a parish, a county, it's called a parish, called Evangeline. And they built a statue to Evangeline. Why? She's just a fictional character in a poem. So I kept on asking myself. But what really got me, fellow Toastmasters, was, you know, that hospital in Philadelphia where she found Gabrielle? They put a plaque, a bronze plaque on the front wall of this hospital, and it's still there. And I'm going to read to you what it says. On this site, in Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's narrative poem, Evangeline, the name of the poem, Gabrielle Lajeunesse and Evangeline Bellefontaine were reunited in the almshouse of the Society of Friends, located here 1729 to 1841. A bronze plaque, and it's still there. Why? Why for this fictional character? Well, that's 57 years ago, and off and on I thought about it, but it was last year it hit me. I had just completed 8 tough years studying for my law degree. I wrote 21 exams. I failed 9 times, but I kept on going. When I made it on August the 15th, I threw my arms out, I looked up, and I said, I made it! I made it! And then I realized what the essence of this poem was and why people had to study it back during the tough times in the 1930s. It was about perseverance, like Evangeline's, maintaining her dreams, her goals to find Gabrielle, to never give up, no matter what happens, to start new beginnings every opportunity we have. Now, I think I finally have understood. 57 years later. What does that mean for us? Well, look, you know, if you're like me, yeah, our dreams drive our goals. But what fuels our drive are our stories like Evangeline and stories like yours and mine. And in each one of us, there's a bit of Evangeline. And the reason why we're going to succeed is because, like Evangeline, we are self-driven. So happy new beginnings, everyone. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very, very much, DTM Tony. The beginning. Fabulous speech. Now, our next speaker is Toastmaster Dinesh, and Toastmaster Dinesh is going to be evaluated by our jovial and energetic evaluator, Toastmaster Sandra. The master, could you please highlight, spotlight Toastmaster Sandra?
Good morning. I think I'm unmuted. This morning, I'm evaluating Dinesh. He is doing collaboration for long-term success. That caught my attention. I hope to do that program one of these days. Successful collaboration is to deliver a speech about the experience with the collaboration process used to make decisions, the learnings, and the perceptions of the experience. This speech is not about a report on the content of how to do it, but the experience, and I'm really looking forward to that. Over to Dinesh, or back over to you, sorry, Toast. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sandra. Could you please, the master, please highlight Toastmaster, spotlight Toastmasters Dinesh? Well, Toastmaster Dinesh is an HR professional who is now helping a lot of expats who want to make their home as Canada. And so he is one of the founding members of Leadership Speak, and he is going to speak about collaboration for long-term success. Toastmaster Dinesh.
Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. I'm a storyteller. I'm going to tell a little story. In my childhood, my parents told me that if I have a loonie and my brother has a loonie, I give my loonie to my brother has 2 loonies, I have none. If my brother gives his loonie to me, I have 2 loonies, my brother has none. However, if I have an idea and my brother has an idea, and if we exchange these ideas, then my brother has 2 ideas, I have 2 ideas, and there is a possibility that together we might come up with a 3rd idea. I did not understand that concept in my childhood. But growing up, I understood what my parents were telling me. My parents were telling me collaboration for long-term success. So that's the title of my speech, is Collaboration for Long-Term Success. My presentation will have 5 components. What's the process for building the long-term success? And I'm going to walk you through a collaboration that we recently did and the process that we followed for building that collaboration. So 5 things, 5 key priorities: build trust and set goals, define role and timelines, communicate and review, but very importantly, celebrate the success. And in summarizing the entire process of this long-term collaboration. So last year, as Asif mentioned, we support newcomers and international students to build their life in Canada. As part of that process, we started on building a collaboration with Sheridan. Now, guess 2 organizations. Sheridan is one of the most reputable academic institutions in Ontario. BMG is a very young organization, less than 3 years in existence. So Sheridan gets lots of proposals from young organizations like BMG that they want to collaborate. Will Sheridan entertain each one of them too? I'm not sure. So the first thing was, let's build trust between the 2 organizations. And Sheridan mandate is education that puts you first. They offer 140 career-focused programs at a school where success is our priority, that Sheridan priority. What does BMG does? BMG create pathways for new immigrants and international students to achieve their full potential through education, employment, and community integration. So what's the common theme? Education. Sheridan puts education first. BMG puts education, employment, and community integration as the key drivers of its operations. So we started talking, and we also said, no one can win alone. Now that the trust was built, we started defining the roles and the timelines. We built 2 teams, one BMG team, one Sheridan team. We started defining the roles. what will BMG do? Because some of the work that BMG was doing it was already being done by Shardian. So Shardian felt it's a duplication. We are already doing what you are telling us to do, that this is part of our curriculum. But one of the things that we mentioned to Shardian is the team of BMG have the lived experience of being an immigrant and international students. We are able to connect well with the student community. Yes, Shardian has a lot of knowledge, expertise, but they don't have the lived experience of being the newcomers or international students. Shardian bought that, and they started providing all the support that they could offer it. But then we had to review the timelines. What's the different class timings are, what the study weeks are, what the midterm exams are. That's the semester timelines we started reviewing. We also said, let's keep on our communication channels. So leads were set by both the organization. One lead from BMG, one lead from Shardian. They will talk on the process, timelines, and all that stuff too. What BMG team did, any sessions that were to be organized, they would share the content with the Shardian team. This is what we are going to present to your students. Add, delete, modify, whatever you want to do that to. And then while we were doing that, there was a review process that was done. After every session, a review meeting was done. How did the session went? Good, bad, ugly. Halfway through the program, and at the end of the program, a full review of the program was done. Success story. More than 200 international students from Shardian attended this program. It built credibility for BMG as a subject matter expert for supporting international student community. The program is now being delivered in other community colleges in GTA, and we have built a student ambassador program, says students supporting students. In summary, no one wins alone. Building successful collaboration is an important aspect of an organization's life cycle. By working together, organization can use each other experience and skills to the success. However, there's no one right fit strategy. What we are doing for Shardian, we can't do it for Humber. So trying several approaches to determine which suits best help experience more success. That's all from me. Thank you so much for listening. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Hello, thank you very, very much, Toastmaster Dinesh. And that was a fabulous speech about, how do you look for a long-term success plan? Now, our next speaker is Toastmaster Noorul Munawwara, and her evaluator is Toastmaster Nina John. So, Master, could you please spotlight Nina John? There she is.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Asif Saiyed. Welcome to my speaker, DTM Noorul Munawwara, who is doing her level 1, project 3 in motivational strategies, introduction to vocal variety and body language. The time is 5 to 7 minutes. She has to present a speech on any topic and use vocal variety or body language and gestures or both. Her topic title is Brindavan. Over to you, DTM Noorul Munawwara and TMOD Asif.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nina. And now, so I invite Toastmaster Noorul Munawwara. She is an electrical engineer, 38 years of experience, my goodness. And then she has definitely done a lot of work for Sri Lanka Toastmasters. Toastmaster Noorul Munawwara, her theme, her speech title is Brindavan. Brindavan, Toastmaster Noorul Munawwara.
fictions. My favorite hobby when I was schooling. That prompted me to visit world wonders and places I came across during the reading. So Mysore Palace and Brindavan are some of those places I had a dream of visiting. It was in 2010. This was a time the annual conference of District 82 was happening in Mysore, Infosys. So about 60 of Sri Lankans took the flight and flown to Bangalore and visited Mysore 2 days in advance. And we started to explore Mysore, visiting Mysore Palace and so many other places. In 2 days, the annual conference started. The second day, I wanted to visit Brindavan. The project chair was our past international director, Gauri. And I came across her during the lunchtime on the second day of conference. Gauri, I wanted to go to Brindavan because it was my dream. She said, wow, we don't have any vehicles. I don't know, but I want a vehicle to go to Brindavan. But she arranged a bus. 10 of us got into the bus and went to Brindavan around 4:30 p.m. We bought the ticket. We know that they are starting the musical fountain show by around 5 o'clock. We didn't know where the place was, but we know that it was far away from the entrance. All of us started to run, climb up on the hill. Even we couldn't really admire the Brindavan gardens, but we wanted to go and sit to see the concert. We ran. Ultimately, we kept on our foot to the stage. Unfortunately, they have completed the fountain show. It was a break. It was very, very unsatisfactory, but we were just sat and stayed there for half an hour, came back again and walked up to the entrance and got into the bus and came to the hotel. Again, on the second day, in the morning itself, I told Gauri, we couldn't reach there on time. I wanted another vehicle to visit to Brindavan today. Again, she was reluctant. I said, no, I wanted to go. So again, she arranged, but we went there in advance to go and see. There were a lot of crowd. They were on the queue, thousands of people, and we were behind. The queue slowly moved, slowly moved. And we managed to get the ticket. Again, we started, but we didn't run. We started to admire the Brindavan gardens. As you see on my backdrop, the stream, the lake, and beautiful garden. And we went through the garden up to the hill. But we were able to watch the dancing fountain of musical fountain of the Brindavan. My dear friends, it was a dream. It was now on my bucket list, but I'm very satisfied. When I looked at the fountain, I found it was a man-made fountain, musical fountain. As an engineer, of course, I understand. So I was a little bit unsatisfied, but I was thrilled to see the wonders of the Brindavan garden. On the left bank of the Brindavan garden, there was a huge wall at the edge of a tank. But the garden was on the right down, whereas the tank was on the top. That was the first time I really witnessed the engineering marvel appearing in Brindavan garden. My dear friends, I was able to pick off one item in my bucket list, but I missed certain things in my plan. I could have, what I missed, we could have planned the trip in advance. We could have collaborated with the team of the organizers, and we could have prioritized the places where we visited after we really go down at Mysore, and we could have achieved the goals in a better way. But my dear friends, still I have so many things in my tree. I have already visited 4 places in World Wonders, but still I have some more pending. So let us plan the trip in proper way, organize your item, prioritize your items, and collaborate with the team. We can achieve the goals. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Noorul Munawwara, for highlighting us about your experience about Brindavan. Definitely, it's a very beautiful garden, and what about successful planning is relevant to succeeding in life. Now, we move on to our last speaker, very important one, Toastmaster Azimuddin, who is going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Dan Odero. Toastmaster Dan.
Good morning, Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening from Nairobi. Happy New Year. This evening or morning, we are privileged to listen to a speech delivered by Mohammed Azimuddin. He's pursuing the path in dynamic leadership, level 5, so he's almost completing the path. Second speech, the title of the project is Leading in Your Voluntary Organization. The purpose of the project is for the member to apply the skills needed to successfully lead in a volunteer organization. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspects of his experience in serving as a leader in a volunteer organization. He's got 5 to 7 minutes to deliver the speech. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dan. Well, now while the Zoom Master is going to spotlight Toastmaster Azimuddin, you know about Azimuddin that he is a mechanical engineer and was served in the 15th Asian Games in Doha, Qatar, and was awarded a certificate from His Highness of the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. What an achievement. Why? Because volunteers needs to be appreciated. Volunteering need to be appreciated. Value of volunteering at every frontier is his speech title. Toastmaster Azimuddin, value of volunteering at every frontier.
I am audible?
Yes, you are.
Good morning, leaders. We are on the 6th day of New Year. Everyone sets their goals for the new year. I asked one of my friends, and he said, I want to be my better version this year. So I tried it. In July 2006, I joined Toastmaster. And I was forcefully given the role of Sergeant at Arms. I was taking the banner on my shoulder, grabbing the lighting devices, the timing devices, the promotional materials, the banners, and rushing to the meeting hall, arranging the meeting 1 hour before the start of the meeting. That was my role as a volunteer. At a time, I started thinking, well, this is annoying. But later on, I realized that I am actually learning something. I am learning the leadership skills, how to arrange a meeting hall, how to provide all the members, the facilities, the situation and an environment where they can perform well in the meeting. And everybody appreciated me. That was the value I received as a volunteer. 5 months later, in December 2006, 15th Asian Games was held, and I jumped into it as a volunteer. I was given training of my role, what to perform. And then on the first day of December 2006, I was standing between the main gate and the sports hall of a stadium. Under the open sky, I was standing there in the uniform. I had a radio to communicate. And then I looked up on the sky. I was thinking, yeah, I'm going to deliver my leadership role here. And the sky is only the limit. Then I suddenly heard a message in the radio. The first group of spectators arrived at the gate number 14. Oh, gate number 14 is my responsibility. So I rushed to the gate number 14. And I saw a long school bus and almost 20 students under 13 came down from the bus. And they were having in their school uniforms, their faces were shining, flushing with excitement and joy. They were dancing. And they were going to witness the first time in their life the sports. So I met them in a queue and I stood in front of them. I was thinking, I am now leading them. So I led them first right, then left, and again right, directly into the hall, where there was someone else to take care for their seating arrangement. So I returned back to my same position. And then I met Catherine, a cancer survivor in her 50s. She devoted her life to serve the humanity. So she came here as a volunteer. And she was my assistant volunteer to assist me in performing my role. When there were no spectators, we sat together. I brought pizza, juice for her. We shared together and then started talking each other. She shared her story, how it was painful when she was in the hospital. The painful feelings of chemotherapy, the painful feelings of hopelessness and fear and stress that was there. And then she told me how her friends and family helped her to come back from the mouth of death. And then she decided to serve the humanity. Next day, we started again. She shared the story of her childhood when she was in a school in Bradford, England, how she got married. And she shared the story of her hopelessness when her daughter was in her body and her husband lost the job. She was talking like, I am her childhood friend. I shared my story as well. And then 15th December came. There was a closing ceremony of the games. Everybody started leaving the hall. the game was over. So we had to leave. Catherine, she was also started leaving. And then I realized something, the feelings that we had a lot of story yet to tell, yet to share with each other. Now, what to do and how to share the stories? I was feeling a gap in my heart. And then I called Catherine. She turned back as she was expecting my call. And then she came to me. I had a lot of things to tell her, but hardly I was able to tell Catherine. You are the source of inspiration for me. You will always be in my heart and mind forever. You proved that no matter whatever it is, no matter how old we are, no matter what is our medical condition, we have still enough potential to serve the community as a volunteer at every frontier. Take care, Catherine. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Azimuddin. With that, we are completing all our, speeches today. Zoom Master, could you please launch the poll? And while the poll is being launched, dear timer, dear Hannah, could you please, post the timing into the chat? Well, timing is already posted in the chat. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Hannah. The poll is going on. Well, it's now time for evaluation, a critical feedback that will definitely help our speakers shine in the new year. So for that, I'm going to invite our general evaluator, Toastmaster Vinod. Toastmaster Vinod thinks that because our theme is about success planning, he thinks that planning is very, very important. And after the planning is done, the execution is very much important, because without that, success won't be achieved. Dear Zoom Master, could you please spotlight Toastmaster Vinod?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day, our President, Mohmad Asif, Toastmaster Mohmad Asif. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whichever part of the world all of you are. Happy New Year. And so glad that Brahm has given us the news that we are the #1 club in the world. First, let's give a big round of applause once again for the effort of our current executive committee and the people who are helping the entire team. Thank you very much. So we have become our own competition now. So we have to be more careful now. We have to raise our standards. Thank you. So my role is very cogent over here. It's simple to verbally evaluate the speakers who have delivered their speeches. So the first speech that was given was the toast by DTM Toastmaster Paramjit, and to evaluate that, I would be calling the person who is also doing the role of the timer. So I would request the Zoom master to please take the role of a timer, and I would need a confirmation from the Zoom master that they would be doing that. Zoom master, would you be able to do that?
Yes.
Thank you very much for that. So here is someone who is always smiling, loves to live in a countryside, and loves to Zoom hop around the world. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Hannah to evaluate Toastmaster Paramjit. Zoom Master, please spotlight our evaluator Toastmaster Hannah, and please remove me from spotlight. Thank you. Thank you. Hannah, you are muted.
Yes.
Now fine.
Let me just quickly get back to it. Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator and Bratschitsch for raising the toast today. The purpose of this project was to deliver a social speech, raising a toast. The theme is Leadership Speech Success Plan. With this toast, to honor an organization. And you definitely succeeded in in your objectives in honoring Leadership Speak, the organization, soon to be #1, definitely. With raising a toast, the audience should be engaged. Thus, they should be encouraged to open their videos, unmute themselves, and participate in the toast. Success is all about engagement and participation in the audience, and they participated. There was clarity in your message. You took it head on with your theme. And success is indeed a journey, as you also mentioned in your toast. I need to say something about your Zoom presence, Mr. Paramjit. To emphasize your message, hand gestures form part of your message. And the screen was obviously far too small to show that emphasis. I only saw your hands occasionally, and it would have been nicer to emphasize your message. Success is a plan with Toastmasters. Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Hannah, for that evaluation. And as an evaluator, what I'm looking basically for the evaluators is to give the point of improvement. And Hannah, you actually gave 2 good points of improvement. One is hand gesture, and the second was emphasize the word success, because English is a language where you need to emphasize the words. Because I was learning Japanese with my daughter yesterday. So I understood that there are languages where every word is said in the same way. English is not like that. English is a word where you can emphasize on certain words. So very nicely pointed out what are the points of improvement. Thank you very much for that, Hannah. Now, the second evaluator is myself. I would be evaluating the Toastmaster of the day, our president, and the TMOD for today. So Toastmaster Asif as TMOD. The TMOD's role begins before the meeting starts. What you did during the meeting, and after the meeting, definitely we will discuss. But the flyers were ready much in advance. We knew who was the TMOD, the write-up was ready. Everything was very neatly and cleanly written, cogently written on the write-up, how many awards we have won, how many on the dashboard it is there. Very clearly done. And even before the meeting, you are checking whether all role players were done. So kudos on that. Very nicely done. Very cogent, crisp, and swift transitions. You introduced every speaker very well and then moved on. So we didn't feel that you got stuck anywhere. It felt like a Netflix series, which we wanted and want to continuously keep on watching throughout this evening. So well done over there. Just quickly, 2 suggestions, what I would feel. One is your background. You have worn a black suit. So the black background and the black suit is something like what you say, your face is standing out. That's a good thing. But a lighter background would have much, like what you said, we could have seen your body in full power. That would have been much better. And second is the theme success plan. You were very energetic when you were introducing everyone. But when it came to the theme to be banged with emphasis, I felt that a little missing. The theme could have been introduced in a very, like what you say, yes, we have to be successful this year. We are our own competition. Let's do that. Something like that, because it's the first meeting of the year. But I know you have a style which is very calm and quiet, and you will take us to the success. So thank you very much for that. Thank you. So this was the Toastmaster of the evaluation for the Toastmaster. Now let me call upon someone who would be evaluating our leadership speaker. Now this person has read 193 books in 2023. Okay, and she is an enthusiastic Toastmaster. She has joined Toastmasters in 2020, and she wants to work on her fear of public speaking. Please put your hands together to welcome our Leadership Speak Evaluator, Toastmaster Leah Musunga.
Thank you so much, Mr. GE. And I had the privilege of evaluating Toastmaster Brahm. And the first thing I should say is fasten your seat belt, as we are the top club of Toastmasters. Let's hope that is what exactly will happen by the end of the year also. Thank you so much for sharing your speech with us today, Brahm. There are a couple of things that I really loved about your speech. I love the fact that you presented a challenge and then you also told us about the solution. So I liked that kind of way that you presented for us, the audience, so that we could see this is where we were and this is where we would like to be, or you're inviting us to take charge so that we could see where we could be by the end of the year. So I liked that dynamic of having the challenge and also providing the solution, because in the beginning I was even thinking, okay, I can see there's a problem. Well, how is this going to be fixed? And the fact that you gave us the solution, that was really great. And the way you integrated the slides and the visual aids that you had, that was really, really interesting, really good, very, very engaging. We got to visually see what you were talking about and follow you along. And it was very engaging. And you did also engage your audience. So that kept us very much present in your presentation. I was even surprised at the end when I saw the time that you took, almost 20 minutes. I was like, sheesh, that time seemed so short. And that obviously it's because of the way you engaged us, the audience, as we were able to really be following with what you were saying. I also liked the fact that your speech was very informative and you presented data for us that as I previously said, we were able to see. So even us ourselves, we can then speak on that data because we have seen it for ourselves. I think the one thing that I picked up that maybe you may want to work on, or maybe it was just something, is maybe just to ensure that before you do present your speech, that you do engage the technical team so that if there's anything that needs to be done, then that is already sorted before you present your speech, such that when you do present, everything moves very smooth and your presentation doesn't have any slight hiccups, if I may put it in that sense. Other than that, thank you so much for the presentation, for your speech today. And I do hope indeed that we will be the top club at the end of the year. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Leah, for that wonderful evaluation. You highlighted what was good, the framework, the challenge solution framework, the type of speech. It was informative speech and it was engaging. It really came out very well when you were speaking. What I would love, like what you say, is more suggestions when it comes to the leadership speaker, because it's 20-minute speech. Definitely there is more scope of suggestion than just the slides, because I believe the project was also about 360-degree evaluation. So something in the content where there was the evaluation done in the club and shown something, I was looking for that. But Brahm did it very nicely. This was a time when the speech felt very nice and brilliantly evaluation done. Just if you can add one more suggestion on the content or any vocal variety or the body movement, it would be good for the speaker, because the leadership speak is 20 minutes and we need to give our leadership speaker at least 3 suggestions. Thank you. But whatever you did, amazing job. Thank you very much. So our next evaluator would be evaluating our first speaker, Mr. Toastmaster Ray Rivero. And this evaluator lives in a beautiful sunny Lagos city. He works in aviation and has passion for learning, traveling, speaking, as well as life and business coaching. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Mumdao. I hope I am taking your name correctly. Toastmaster Mumdao.
You really tried. Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator Mamadou. Gabriel from beautiful sunny Lagos. Thank you very much. Yes, I am to evaluate Ray's speech and what are the requirements of your project, Ray. Engage your audience with humor. Well, it is to deliver a speech on a point of view and what makes things funny, including at least anecdotes and stories and what happened. Verbal judo was cogent. Verbal judo, I could see you walking the talk or even walking the walk. You stood up like a judoka, like a judo coach, embodying the discipline itself. It was a learning experience for us. You took us on a journey, traveling to India, to the US, to Australia, punching us with phrases, with expressions, with things that usually means other things. The nuances, the paradox in the expressions, saying things that have completely different meanings. Things like break a leg. Were there anecdotes? And was there a story? Yes. You gratified us with stories, with anecdotes. And like I said, you took us to India, to Australia, to the World Championship of Cricket. That part of the story. Your speech also had a flavor of, I will say, motivation. It's not over until it's over. And there was a structure in your speech. You can see where you're coming from and where you were going. Your Zoom presence was from another galaxy. And there was great lighting. I wouldn't say the same for my own here. And the pace, your pace was perfect. Your hand gestures. We could learn a lot from you, Ray. You asked me to look at your timing and your pacing. They were really perfect. I would say top notch. And the humor, yes, it was there. Did we laugh out loud? Not everyone, but the humor was there. And it kept up thinking. It kept us thinking. And it was a really great speech. I would have loved to, or next time for the audio, the sound on my end was, there was an echo. There was an echo in the sound, which actually has not deprived your speech with its power, with its humor, with its impression. And at some point, I felt like you were tempted to hesitate. And it's made it a style, which I loved. But if you could improve on that one, that will really help. But in a nutshell, it was really a great speech. And as I said, you walked the talk. And please come back again with speeches like this and showing us the way to Australia and to everywhere in the world on a jargon phrases journey. Thank you very much, and back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Mamadou, for that evaluation. And may I request the timer to just raise the hand, Hannah, please. And I would say that, Mamadou, you are a very cogent evaluator when it came to giving praise. You were very crystal clear that the speaker had a journey, anecdote, structure, very well said. What I would like, and you also summarize your evaluation in a nice way, even though you ran a little bit out of time. you said that the humor was there for someone, and you kept us there. So that was just a statement made. What I would have loved to see is show, don't tell. So you told that the humor was there. So I would have loved that you could have taken a place where actually there was humor, and you could explain that this could have been in this way. So break the leg, or something like you could have added exactly a demonstrate where you could the speaker could have improved. Other than that, I felt amazing. Thank you very much, Mamdu. The next evaluator is for our Toastmaster Tony. And she was born in Caribbean island of Antigua. She joined Leadership Speak in 2021 to develop her ability in leadership in all aspects of her life. She is a Rotarian and part of Mothers Union. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Barbara.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Tony, gonna begin where you excelled at. You were cogent, where you were clear, and you clearly expressed and persuaded people to believe in your story. You asked me to look out for your improvement on non-verbal cues upon such as expressions, gestures, and pauses that would help you to deliver your message. And that you did. You didn't have all these props and all these gestures and so forth, and you did just that. Your story was very interesting. You had a good ending when Evangeline found Gabriel after such a long search. What I say would still like for you to work on is by having a plaque. You made mention of such a plaque after the wonderful story about Gabriel. The plaque that he was given or honored in his recognition. I think a picture or some sort of form of picture should have been shown on that as a recognition on that wonderful story that was told. What I want to challenge you to do is to continue to be your vibrant, to be that vibrant speaker that you are. You are such an, I love hearing you every time you speak. Your messages are always well given in terms of understood. And as your message said in your speech, we are all self-driven and should never give up like Evangeline. Thank you, Tony, for that wonderful, wonderful speech today. Back over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Barbara, for that evaluation. You were on the point. You started that this is what I have, what were the good points, and this is what suggestion. What you come across as an amazing speaker. So I would just like that when the next time when we see you evaluating us, create an opening, because evaluation is also in speech. So let's create an opening and hook to get into the strong point and points of improvement, because I feel that would be easy for you. As verbal judo, I can ask Rivero to give some words for you. He will, like what you say, no, whatever it is, something is not coming to my mind. But if you have an opening and a summary, where you can take 30 seconds and then you insert your points that, okay, these were the strong points and the recommendation was very valid. The visual aid can help us. It would be more appealing. So amazing. Thank you very much for that. But just let's the next time opening and the summary should also be highlighted in that. Thank you very much. So our next evaluator over here is someone who is my favorite in this club, who seems to be coming out from a fairy tale character, and she loves to be in prison. Her heart is filled with gratitude. And ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Sandra, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Dinesh.
Thank you. I'm so thrilled to be able to be evaluating you today, Dinesh. I've watched your video that you presented recently as well. And with that, I really appreciate the work that you do. It resonates with me because I also welcome new Canadians. I've helped bring refugee families. So I see your passion. I know your passion, and it comes across. That's wonderful. I love the little opening story of the loony. If you give your brother your loonie, he has two, he gives you his, you have two. But the whole essence of collaboration was really in that opening. Even though you didn't know what it was at the time, but mom and dad were telling you, two ideas can create another. That's the definition of a mastermind, which is basically the definition of leadership speak. Many minds come together and there's another master. So that was super. The 5 points, your PowerPoint, it was beautiful. It was clean, clear, simple. You weren't having to read a whole lot of stuff to us. PowerPoints need to be very simple, almost like agenda points. And I was impressed. You started out with the 5 points, listed out beautifully, and then you proceeded through your speech, sharing your experience of collaboration, which was the point that you had to do. And I love that no one can win alone. If you were going to have a tagline in there, I would probably use that line often throughout just to tag it back. Collaboration means no one can win alone. That would be a PowerPoint. You have developed, I would say is the right word, sharing your enthusiasm and your passion with us. It's coming across in how you speak and the motion, the movement that you bring into it. I can see it and I can feel it. However, when we're looking at areas of improvement, I would invite you to tell your face. That's the way I like to say it. I don't ever see a big grin on your face of enjoyment. And you deserve that. We deserve that. There's a smile coming. Now just let it ripple up. There's a better smile coming. Let it ripple. Enjoy the passion of what you're doing. Truly, that grin and that smile is going to tell us, get out there and welcome these new Canadians. We need them. They need us. So don't let that go by. So you certainly reported your experience of the collaboration, except you forgot to tell your face, but you're going to do that in the future, right? Watch your eye contact. You were so focused on the camera that even as your hands would go out, you would put the gestures, and they were right, but this is when your eye would follow with it. So it's not always just on the camera. Overall, I was so pleased to see this, to see and feel this enthusiastic Dinesh. And please don't forget your face. Over to you, GE.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sandra, for that wonderful evaluation. You created a personalized opening where you connected the speaker's message with your own. That was very nicely done. And something where a message that you has given all of us very subtly, which I believe the power is in your point, not in your PowerPoint. You made it you said it very nicely when you said that you could have used that word as a tagline, no one can win alone, and you could have used throughout that. And the other suggestions were very valid, the emotions and the gestures. And you used the word overall to give us a signpost that you were summarizing, but you did it after the red. So please do be mindful of the timing. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sandra, for that. Now, let me call upon someone who will be evaluating the story of Brindavan. I would like to invite someone who has been a former district director, District 82 director to be precise. She is an author. She believes she is a communication catalyst and a public speaking coach. She has been in Toastmasters for 20 years and currently the finance manager of District 120. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Nina John.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster G. Panikar. It's an absolute honor for me to evaluate Noorul, because Noorul is the one, she was my division governor when I was district director. So we have a close connection for over 20 years. So we've been friends. And what I liked about Noorul's speech was her enthusiasm for Brindavan. And yeah, this was on my bucket list. I'm not going to let a little thing like timing and buses stop me. I will go again and again until I see it. So I like that enthusiasm, but I think it could have had a little more force for that. And since this is vocal variety and we're in Toastmasters, you can ham it up and say that. So there we went. I like the way we went running and panting and reaching over there. And it was over. So a little more disappointment and a little more, oh my God, it was over. What was the point of all that running if we could not see the musical fountains? So that is where the vocal variety comes in. And overall, I liked your enthusiasm about seeing everything, but as an audience, as an international audience, I don't know what Brindavan is. So I would have liked you to explain what is Brindavan. And I liked your backdrop. You have a beautiful one again of the Mysore Palace. But for an international audience, you need to spell out why you're there. And it's on your bucket list. But I think that is something that you could have used actually as an opening. Do you have a bucket list? Have you gone to different places and have you had this experience? All my life, I wanted to go see the Brindavan gardens. And why did you want to see them? That's what we need to know. So that's where your vocal variety and that's where your gestures come in. Throughout, I love the positive lilt in your voice when you were talking about it. You were so happy about the whole thing. I would have liked a little disappointment over there. And also, you are talking like an engineer. Here's everyone admiring the fountains and here's Noorul saying, that engineering aspect, I think a little correction over there would have helped. So that's where you can bring in a little humor and say, if I was in charge of that project, this is what I would have told the engineer. So therefore, a little bit of humor you can add in something that's already there. In summary, a little more vocal variety, a little more just sheer hamming it up the way I am. But overall, good gestures, good Zoom presence, fabulous background. And I really want to go back and see Brindavan Gardens after you have told us. Back to you, G. Toastmaster Panikar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nina, for that wonderful evaluation. You actually demonstrated show, don't tell. So whenever you picked up a point of improvement, you actually demonstrated that this is how you could have done that, and this is what you could have done, and a suggestion. So you demonstrated that amazing, and you were more on the suggestion side. I like that actually, because that helps our speakers. Feedback is the breakfast for champions, and this is the club for champions of leaders. Thank you very much for that amazing thing. Okay, so the last speech evaluator for today is going to be someone who joined Toastmaster in 2010. And he's the immediate past president of his home club in Nairobi, Kenya. He is very passionate about exceptional customer service, and he believes in delighting his customers. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Dan. To evaluate Toastmaster Mr. Mohammad Azimuddin. Dan, screen is yours.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. And wow, thank you, Mohmad Azimuddin, for your speech. That was a great delivery, great energy. I like the energy that you had there. And first of all, you connect to the audience, calling them leaders, fellow leaders. It's a very good way of endearing to your audience also, so you see them too as leaders. And then you went on to highlight the areas that you worked on, how you started off, how you took up leadership, and some of the things you went through as a sergeant at arms, 2006, and the things you went out through there. But also, you brought out the energy there, the expectation from walking into a leadership, a position of volunteering where you had the students, they were all bright, how you described them. So with a positive attitude that also helped us to see that one of the lessons we have when working in one of these leadership roles in a volunteer organization is have the positive. Do not Because maybe with teenagers, sometimes you would say teenagers are trouble, but you say no, they are bright faces. And that was also positive. And then the person you worked with also had challenges. Listening was one of the things that came out very clearly, how you listened and how you gained from that, how she shared her story and you shared your story too. Those things came out well. It's an exceptional way of part of your speech. Some areas, and also an area that was, your Zoom presence was great. Stood up, do good gestures. We could see you well. We saw the lessons and learned them as well. Came out extremely well. An area that you could challenge yourself to, I mean, you could probably think of working on is this is an area where we're talking about the 360. You had done a project where you talk about 360. What is the area that you can also give back to? How do you form some continuity? Because you're talking about also how do you give back and what things how you developed to have what you learned to others that could also work on. And then also as you're speaking, one of the ways maybe you can think about also working on is more conversationalist, because you came out with points, point, make it more conversational as it flows. But all in all, great energy with your presentation on your leadership, great lessons learned, subtly put there, that we learned a lot from how you led an organization, done pretty well. Thank you for that sharing. Thank you for the lessons that you brought out clearly. Thank you for the energy that you brought out. And I look forward to hearing more as you complete your path. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster, Mr. General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Dan. I like the words that you used for summary, all in all, and to highlight what went well, that what came out well, you are highlighting about that. Some suggestion, you spoke about that energy, right? The first statement that you made was you could have more energy. So you could have actually demonstrated where the energy was required. Was it the opening statement? Was it in the middle? Or was it in the conclusion that with full power the speaker needed to close? So that demonstration, by showing that you could have done this, would have added. And rest all, I felt it was very nice. Your suggestion was not mainly on the elements of speech, gesture, voice, and all this thing. You spoke about content and being more conversational. So I like that. Being conversational is something which is a very difficult skill, and you have challenged the speaker to next time come up with a conversational speech. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Dan. Now I would request Toastmaster Hannah to put the timer's detail. Yes, she has already done. Amazing. And before calling on the grammarian, I would request our Zoom master to put up the poll for the best evaluator. Hannah, that was very quick, as quick as a leopard. Verbal judo. Some inspiration from Ray. Yes, I hope the poll is done. I'll wait for 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Done. Okay. So now I would request our grammarian of the day, who gave us a very nice word. I would request our grammarian to give us the report. Toastmaster John.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and guests. What an excellent meeting of cogent speeches and inspiring and outstanding words and language and expressions that I had today. There are so many outstanding expressions and words that I could probably provide within the time frame. Therefore, in the interest of time, I'm going to mention a couple of them, beginning with fasten your belt. We are on the rocket to the moon and to the Mars from our first speaker, Brahm. I enjoyed that because it gave me lifted up my spirit that we are all there, and his speeches and all the various expressions that he used during the time was great. Also, there were a number of great, outstanding words like judoed, verbally judoed. Yes, and there were so many of them. And also, again, no one can win alone. That was by Dinesh. I enjoyed that. I'm also slowly check off. I mean, I also like the word from our speaker, and that is, I think, Noorul, who used the word check off one item on my bucket list. And also from one of the speakers, I did notice a few inappropriate, in my own opinion, inappropriate words. One of it is that I returned back to my sitting position. And I thought that is either use return, I returned to my sitting position would be more appropriate. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, John, for that cogent evaluation. Quick, correct, right on red. Immediately you stopped and you gave us the suggestion. Being a club which has got almost 17 nationalities, English is not the first language. You pointed out very nicely what can be improved. Thank you very much for that. Now, for my quick general evaluation, I loved the way the Surgeon at Arms started the meeting today. 5:28. There were two role players who were not logged in, and she came in and said, it's 5:28. In 2 minutes, we are going to start. She was very clear, whether there are role players or not, this plane is going to take off. And very, like what you say, crisp, clear, and cogently she mentioned, and dot 5:30, the meeting started. So that was something which is amazing that happens. Only our meetings ends usually late 5 or 10 minutes. That is what we need to work on. But we do 5 speeches and 1 leadership speech. I love this is how a first meeting of the year should supposed to be, setting the tone for the entire year. Amazing work done by all the role players. Let's give a big round of applause to every speaker, every evaluator, the timer that she chipped in. Our timer is not there. Hannah just smiled and yes, I will do that. Thank you very much. A big round of applause. Now, when Brahm was giving a speech, he spoke about DCP, he spoke about CSP. I would like to introduce something which if we follow and the world, other Toastmasters in the world follow, the Toastmaster clubs would be a better place, I feel. And that is, I just want to share my screen quickly. Focus on competencies. Okay, I don't, just let me see. Yeah. Every project in Toastmasters, every project, in the manual, the 4th page is about competencies. That this is what Toastmaster expects when you complete this particular project. I have just taken an icebreaker for this. If we start revolving around this, so we will start focusing more on technical things. So technically, this is what Toastmaster is looking for when you complete this project. Okay. Now, how we do that? It can be different ways we can brainstorm, but I would like this club, which is considered as the best, as Brahm just said, let us create a culture where we are technically focusing on these particular competencies and what all we want to learn, that all we are telling to our evaluator. But I personally believe if we start doing this, within 2 to 3 years, Toastmasters will have more retention. Now, for me personally, I feel many of the members don't have any idea, not in our club, in the general clubs, what is going on. Okay, so once we start working that this is my project, and a speech is just a part of a project. There are things to be done before the project and after the project and during the project. And these are the competencies that we need to understand Once I complete this project, I should be proficient in this competency. Let us start focusing on this particular thing from this particular year. That was one thing that came to my mind, that how can we push our own self? And I was reading a book on psychology where this pathways thinking concept came. And it means that you have a very big goal and then create a pathways to reach there. And that is what Leadership Speak is currently doing. I am privileged and honored to be a member of such a club, and looking forward for taking more and more roles and whatever the goals have been set by that. Apart from like what you say, nothing apart from, the meeting was very good. Let us be more crisper and try to add the competency part in this. With this, I would like to give back the screen to our Toastmaster of the day and our president, Toastmaster Asif.
Thank you very, very much, General Evaluator Vinod Panikar, for sharing your wisdom and steering this meeting of the evaluation session. Now I invite our thought of the day to share our thought of the day. Toastmaster Amit Dujani is going to share thought of the day for today.
Well, good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. It's been 6 months and we are #1 in the world. But as they say, it ain't over until the fat lady sings. Let me tell you about a football match. Now, by football, I actually mean soccer, because football in some lingo would be something else. So it's like verbal judo. So I'm talking about soccer here. There were 2 teams, Germany and Japan. Germany had a star forward, a superstar player. And coincidentally, they had a coach by the name of Brahm. Now, Brahm made a plan that the entire team members would pass the ball to the star player. And the star player would score the goal for us and we would win the match. That was the plan before the match. However, as the match started, something happened. The Japanese, they started circling the star player and they were not giving any room to the star player to maneuver. At the end of 45 minutes, the score was 0-0. Now, in the halftime, the coach Brahm came up with an alternate plan. He said that my star player would play in the middle of the pitch. And this confused the Japanese. Their defenders were not sure whether they should come to the middle of the pitch and expose their goal or stay back and let the star player free. In this confusion, Germany scored 3 goals and they won 3-0. That's another verbal judo for you. Now the message for you, my dear friends, here is that let us all be stubborn about our goals, but be flexible about our plans, about our methods. Planning is something that we don't necessarily continue to do, but we continue to plan. So it is depending on the situation, we should be willing to modify our plans. And with that, I would like to wish Leadership Speak and its team and coaches all the best. Go guys, break a leg. Back to you.
Thank you very, very much for sharing your thought of today's meeting. Well, dear ladies and gentlemen, we have already embarked upon this new year, 2024. What is in our hands is that we can plan and we can take help and we can practice at a Toastmasters platform. And yes, Leadership Speak is one of those most advanced Toastmasters club. And now we have achieved that level 1 globally. Wow. It's a news to cherish and celebrate. Well, if if you could all unmute yourself and let's celebrate for 30 seconds or so, this achievement. It's a fabulous achievement. What do you all think?
Yeah, way to go. Yeah. Go team.
Well, thank you very much. But you look, despite the sore throat which I have, I've tried my level best to maintain, and to, survive and thrive in this whole meeting. So that is what the Toastmaster spirit is all about, We want to push the boundaries. We want to see how far we can go. It's not about the numbers, you see. It's all about making the impact. It's about, discovering the best version of ourselves. And this best version depends upon all that you can visualize. Because the more bigger you dream, the more bigger risk you can take, obviously with the relevant controls in place. And Toastmasters being providing a congenial environment where we can dare to practice and experiment so that we can really shine bright in the outside world, whether in Toastmasters or outside as well. That is what my vision is all about Toastmasters and Leadership Speak. The bigger the impact which we can make, the bigger the level of leadership we can achieve. Well, now I invite, just for a small further celebration, to acknowledge who are our best effort speakers and evaluator. I invite Toastmaster Ray to display the certificates. Master, you could please spotlight Toastmaster Ray.
Thank you so very much. We have a tie for best speakers with 3 best speakers, Brahm Memone, Tony Bratschitsch, and me. 3 on the match. Congratulations, best speakers.
Yeah, good things come in threes.
Oh, yes. However, we only have 1 best evaluator. And that's Nina John. Congratulations, Nina.
Thank you so much.
That takes care of our winners. I will have the recording ready before the end of the weekend. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very, very much, Toastmaster Ray, for sharing the certificates. This certificates definitely boost the morale. It's just a small, competitive environment so that we can discover definitely the best version. Now, let me take this opportunity to thank you all, our members, our guests who have, been regularly patronizing our club, who come and visit our club. I request you to stay, hang on for some more time, because definitely we want to speak to you, communicate with you, get your feedback, understand what you liked, what you didn't like about our club meeting. Well, taking this further opportunity, I would like to thank you very much, Brahm, for sharing your wisdom and taking the club. I mean, the kind of immense energy which you put or invest in the club is definitely a kind of a role model which we can definitely emulate. But this, I am taking this opportunity to share my small wisdom about, what you call about success planning. Very short is because success planning is all that you can dream large, big, how much ever big you want to dream big about, but your feet grounded on the ground. Take care of the risks that, may come into your journey. You are exploring your success. Establish the relevant controls, the strategy, so that you're bang on to your success path. And by the way, success is a journey, right? It's just not just a destination. We keep continuing to learn from the hurdles we faced. We cherish, we pat our back for the kind of success which we got during this journey at relevant time frames, like a year, like a quarter, a month. We regularly check what we have achieved and where still more we want to achieve. With that, we want to see you in the next meeting. I adjourn this meeting. Wishing you all a very happy new year.